Sean O'Malley is the next big star in the UFC, and everyone I think agrees on that. And throughout his entire career has been deemed the superstar and the next big thing in the sport. And with that comes pressure. And throughout his entire career, he has lived up to the expectations, outside of one time. Now, I'll get back to that one time a little bit later, but Sean O'Malley right now in his career, I would compare him to Superman. Deemed untouchable before he got the belt. Although he took some losses, he looked perfect in his performances, flawless, coming out with not even a scratch on his face, no blood, clean performances where he dominates. He's like Superman in a way. But with Superman, there is a kryptonite. And that kryptonite is Chito Vera. If you've ever seen an O'Malley interview or anything in the media about O'Malley, he will claim he is undefeated, in which he has one loss on his record. And he goes on to state in this loss that it wasn't a real win. I don't count it as a real win. Well, let's take a look back at that fight. O'Malley coming into this fight was a huge up-and-coming star in the UFC. Chito Vera wasn't known as a superstar like he is now. He was just another contender in the stacked bantamweight division. And this was supposed to be an easy fight for Sean O'Malley and a step up in competition, but an easier fight for Sean O'Malley. In the first round of that fight, his leg gets kicked and it goes numb. Chito Vera, seeing that, gets him down to the ground and knocks him out with elbows. And after that fight, Sean O'Malley never claimed that to be a loss on his record, saying, well, though I got injured, it doesn't count because it wasn't a real knockout. Although people take it either way they want, it's a loss regardless if you think it was a fluke or not. But that stuck with Sean O'Malley to this day. And 4 years later, he will be fighting Chito Vera for the bantamweight belt. Now, last August, Sean O'Malley got that belt by beating Aljamain Sterling. And on the same card, Chito Vera fought Pedro Munoz in a fight which was kind of boring, but nonetheless wins. And after that, Sean O'Malley called for Chito Vera to avenge his loss. And now look, I'm all for avenging your loss, and this is a big fight coming up, but it didn't make sense at the time, and it still really doesn't make sense. And then I dove a little bit deeper. I'm trying to really break down who Sean O'Malley is and how he perceives that loss to himself. And I'm going to be giving my breakdown to why I think Chito Vera may be in Sean O'Malley's head since day one. And I think this can either deter him or be his kryptonite. Sean O'Malley, as you've seen throughout his career, is a very confident person, right? He trusts his abilities, he trusts his skills, he knows he is a very good mixed martial artist. And a majority of people agree that he is one of the best mixed martial artists in the sport. But he doesn't take that loss well. And throughout this entire process of the fight being announced till now, he has really kind of scoffed it off, Chito Vera. And the entire MMA media, I think, has too, scoffed at Chito Vera in this matchup. And O'Malley has been calling out, Ilia Topuria, Marab, Cejudo, other names like that throughout the process. Although he has brought up Chito Vera before, it hasn't been that much. And MMA media also is glossing over the idea of Chito Vera ever beating Sean O'Malley come next week. But I'm going to tell you why he's Sean O'Malley's kryptonite, and I think why Chito Vera will win come March 9th. And it's not so much skill-based. I just think it's a combination of mental and physical abilities that Marlon Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley have with one another. So let's get into Sean O'Malley first, right? We talked about how he is a very confident person, very good mixed martial artist. He's also the champion of the bantamweight division. And this will be his first title defense against Chito Vera. And again, I'm talking about process. He's not really giving respect to Chito, right? He kind of thinks, this is kind of a free title shot, which it is. Chito didn't really earn it, but I get why he did it, and I know why the UFC did it. They want Sean O'Malley to get that loss back, and I think it's very evident. Right, Cheeto's gonna be a star regardless, and they don't want Chito to win, but I just think it's gonna be a rude awakening. Throughout the past 4 or 5 years of me watching the UFC and watching interviews, going into fights, the notion of overlooking your opponent does a toll on people. One of my favorite instances of this is Giga Chikadze versus Calvin Kattar. Throughout that week, Giga Chikadze was calling out Alex Volkanovski to fight for the belt since Max Holloway pulled out of their fight, completely glossing over the fact that he had to fight Calvin Kattar that weekend. Fast forward Saturday night, they get locked in the cage for 5 rounds, and Calvin Kattar beats his ass, beating him 5 rounds to 0. And it's a humbling moment. Now, this is contender and champion. It's 2 different fights. I get it. But disregarding your opponent and looking past them, I don't think it's a good look. And people will talk to Sean O'Malley's skills and telling you how he is confident. And I don't doubt he's confident that he can beat Chito Vera. But overly confident in your abilities to beat someone, completely overlooking them, thinking it's going to be an easy night because you can beat them. But I think Chito Vera might have the mental edge in this one because he knows he's going in there, and it's a win-win scenario for Chito Vera. If he wins the belt. He's the UFC bantamweight champion. If he loses that fight, he's still a star in the UFC. People are still going to love Chito Vera, and he's not going to be going anywhere. But Chito Vera is a bad man. And although everyone does underrate his skills, this is a tailor-made matchup for Chito Vera. And people will point to Sean O'Malley just being the superior fighter, the superior striker, in which he is. Like, I'm not saying that he's not. But, as I've stated before in my videos, Chito Vera has never been scratched or cut in the UFC. Never. Never had a cut on his face. He has got a granite chin. He will not be dropped. And that is something going into this fight that people are not taking into account. Chito Vera has never been knocked down or had a scratch on his face. And Sean O'Malley, what is his path to victory? Well, knocking out opponents. He's done it in a majority of his fights. Even his recent fight against Aljamain Sterling, he knocked out Aljamain Sterling in the 2nd round. Let's take a look at the Petr Yan win that Sean O'Malley had. Now, it was a close decision. You can score it either way you want, but in this case, we're going to go with scoring it for Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley during that fight had a very, very close fight with Petr Yan. And what won him that fight? Was it his round 1? It was a measly round 1. But let's just say he got round 1. Round 2, got his ass kicked. Round 3, what did he do to win that round? I remember now. The knee up the middle. That cut Petr Yan. Which, if they had already scored round 1, okay, I get it. But round 3 was very close too. Now, he won that fight based off of damage. You look at Petr Yan's face after the fight. It's got blood. It's got cuts because of the knee. And I'm not saying that Chito Vera skin is like some alien-like thing where it can never be cut. I'm not saying that. But if Sean O'Malley can't do that in the 1st round, in the 2nd round, what happens in the 3rd round and 4th round and 5th round, where you just cannot put this guy away. And he is coming at you. And he will not have a scratch on his face or have been dropped. Sean O'Malley, we don't know how good his cardio is. He's never gone 5 rounds. The most he's gone is 15 minutes. Although it was a war, he was very gassed at the end of the fight. Chito Vera, one of the best cardios in the UFC. I mean, this guy doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat after half his fights. Just picture Chito Vera with not a scratch on his face, hasn't been knocked down, up against Sean O'Malley in the 4th round. How do you think that's going to look? Sean O'Malley, tired from throwing so much output that he's getting tired, and Chito Vera just stalking him right in front of him like this. No scratches on his face. You know, his head's fine. He's been punched a couple times. He's fine. Hasn't been knocked. And he's not even breathing, just stalking you down like this. That's got to be intimidating. Plus, the mental edge of him beating him already will be another factor in this fight. I think those are the 3 factors in this fight, right? The mental edge of Chito beating Sean O'Malley before. The insane cardio of Chito Vera. And him never being scratched, cut, or knocked down in the UFC. Guys, I'm going Chito Vera by round 4 knockout. Now, we've seen it many times before for Chito Vera, coming back and getting a miraculous finish. Is that fluky? And is it always consistent? Yes, it's not a consistent style to have or want, but in a matchup like this for a championship fight, Chito Vera will be throwing with more output in the 4th and 5th round if Sean O'Malley cannot get him out of there. And Sean O'Malley's got a good chin, right? But when Chito Vera's got nothing to lose and he knows he can eat as many Sean O'Malley shots as he wants, he's going to be coming out of there like a bat out of hell in the 4th, 5th round and just going to be stalking him down like this and throwing with bad intentions. And that's why I'm going to go Chito Vera by round 4 knockout. A lot of people are discrediting him in this fight, and I understand it. Sean O'Malley is very, very talented, and I was thinking about going with him if it just wasn't Chito. If it wasn't Chito, man, like, I'm so confident in this pick, and I probably shouldn't be because it's probably not the smart pick, but I just have a feeling. I have a feeling deep down that this matchup right here for Sean O'Malley is a nightmare matchup. Like, I couldn't think of a more scary situation than being in front of Chito Vera while you're gassed out and him just stalking you down. I would be scared if I was Sean O'Malley. Now, he can knock him out. I'm not saying that Sean O'Malley can knock out Chito Vera. That would be crazy if he did. And he could just outpace him, and his cardio might be good, and he can go 5 rounds, and, you know, then that question will be answered. But up to this point, I've seen what I've seen, and I think Chito Vera gets it done by round 4 KO. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And comment down some video ideas I should do below. This was a really fun video to make because weirdly enough, I am kind of confident that Chito can beat Sean O'Malley. And it's like, I just have this feeling that he's going to do it. And the sport is better with Sean O'Malley as a champion, but man, I don't know. This is a scary matchup for him. And yeah. Well, you know what? Till next time. Peace. What the fuck?